Morning light, we bloom again. From the deep we rise within. Down below, then we ascend. Lotus heart, lotus heart, lotus heart, we bloom again.
Welcome to Bloom with Dr. Darlene. It's so nice to see you guys following and sending comments and just engaging with me. Today's topic is a challenging one, but there's always some brightness and some light, even in the darkest of our moments. And I have a wonderful guest with me today that will share her inspirational story. It's heart-wrenching and heartwarming at the same time. So, Linda, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
You're very welcome. Tell me a little bit first about your organization and what it represents.
So, I am one of the co-founders of the Beading Hearts. That's B-E-A-D.
Beading Hearts.
The Beading Hearts. And it started because my son Adam struggled with his mental wellness, and he was in search of his mental wellness as a young adult, and ultimately a dual diagnosis of addiction. And in his process of searching, he would string these beads.
Yes.
And they were very inspirational, very uplifting. And he would give them to people he cared about. And so with his design and his inspiration after he passed in 2015, I started making the beads the way he makes
You
beads.
said something so profound to me, and I will always remember this. In search of his mental wellness.
Yeah.
I love the way you describe that.
Thank you.
Because we're all looking to see what's going to make us feel more whole in this world, what's going to make us feel well.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's a struggle. So you said that Adam struggled with addiction.
With addiction as well.
Okay.
Yes. So it started off with a breakdown in his mental wellness and ultimately self-soothing,
Yes.
right? Trying
Yes.
to soothe the pain, trying to fill the hole that he couldn't through normal ways, let's say.
Yes.
And so he went to a doctor, and the doctor started prescribing medication like they did back then. I think it's less now. I think we've had some advancements
some.
in that. Yes,
Yeah.
thankfully.
Yes.
And then that doctor started over-prescribing, but he was already in his addiction. And I find now, looking back, that there was so much I didn't know.
Okay. He was self-medicating, as you described.
Exactly.
And I think, and you can help me to understand more about it, but the pain was just so overwhelming for him. So
Yeah.
he's trying to escape the emotional pain.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it was a pain that he couldn't put words to.
Yes.
It was like a hole bigger than any of us understood.
Yes.
And so in retrospect and looking back at his life, we can see a lot more now. You know, we can go back to his childhood and recognize some things, but we all did the best we could
Absolutely.
with what we knew.
But look at your strength and your courage to be able to do that kind of self-reflection, Linda. And then that helps other people. It inspires, not just inspires, but informs other people. What are some of the things that when you look back, you could see were warning signs?
So I could see now that he was much more reserved and shy, and I thought I could bring him out of it. But it was his caution. He has a cautious nature. And as he grew older, he didn't want to do the big, robust activities. He was more introverted. You know, he has two siblings, and they were jumping off cliffs, and, you know, the bigger their adventure, the better for them. But for him, he would stay back, and we could see signs of that. So I would say that everybody learns in their own way.
Yes.
Everybody has their own lens that they look through. Everybody has their own comfort, and it's not, and it's for us to help them grow that rather than two.
Yes. And it sounds like you did an incredible job in respecting his difference.
Thank you.
So I know you're looking back, and as any of us would, especially in the bargaining stage of grief, what could I have done differently? But at the same time, it sounds like you wanted to affirm him and validate
Yes.
who he was and
Yes.
not try to make him be like his siblings. You accepted him for
Yes.
who he was.
Thank you for that.
That's
And
what you described. Yes,
I think that's the best we can do for anybody.
absolutely.
Anybody we meet in our life, meet them where they are, because we're all going through something.
Everybody is.
We're
We
all in
at times-
recovery.
Yes.
from something.
Yes, absolutely. And it's about perseverance. But when someone gets to that level of distress, it's hard for them to visualize or see beyond the pain. I did a podcast not too long ago. That episode was with a woman, powerful, who talked about her father's suicide. And when she described it, it was this overwhelming anguish that's hard for a person to live with. And so they're thinking that the escape is to self-medicate or self-harm in that case. So yes, you're looking back at Adam's life and trying to get a better sense of what it must have felt like for him.
For him.
Yes.
And what was so fascinating now looking back is those beads that he would string
Yes.
with inspirational messages of faith and love and family and tradition. No one took it seriously. We were like, can't you do something more? You know, like
Okay.
nobody really took those beads seriously. But now that he's passed, and now that we have thousands of women across the country making beads now to be uplifters for others.
Awesome.
Isn't that
That's
awesome?
powerful too, as a way of healing.
As a way of healing.
And also of comforting and inspiring other people. The affirmations that you just described, somebody reading those gives them a sense of hope.
Absolutely. So we make them for people finding their recovery. So we go into jails and offer them hope, offer them love, offer them unconditional love.
Oh, I'm so excited to hear that.
Unconditional.
Bloom is be loving to ourselves and others more. And so what you just described and that agape love that allows us to show people unconditional love
Unconditional.
and unconditional positive regard, that no matter what has happened in your life,
Right.
you're still worthy and God still
Absolutely.
loves you.
Yes.
And I want to demonstrate Christian or Jewish love, because
Yes.
it's not religion, it's
Not
love.
religion.
How do you impart that to other people? So tell me about, how did you get through your son's passing?
I realize that we are eternal beings, and that
It's okay.
thank you.
I just wanted to,
Thank you.
it's okay.
Thank you. I realized that it's a big love story. That Adam
Yes.
and I
Yes.
chose this time together to be this for each other. And that he loved me so much and left a legacy behind that I could carry on for him, and what it's doing for others. He was trying to be an uplifter in his life. And now we could say sadly or remarkably, in his passing, the message is so big and people are connected to it. Like, he was always telling us to look up. He was fascinated with the night sky. And whenever we would go outside, he's the one that we would call to look up, and what are we looking at? And when he was in rehab for his last time, we talked on the phone every day, and he was struggling. And I said, but Adam, you're the one who told us to look up, even when you're feeling down. And what I didn't know is that that was going to be our last conversation, because he overdosed the next day.
The next day.
the next day.
But you honor him so.
But we honor him
Yes.
by looking up, and we now make the beads that say, look up for other beautiful people that have lost their life to addiction.
You're carrying on his legacy, and there's a part of it that's not just deeply spiritual, but part of the spiritual is the mysteries that we don't fully understand.
We don't fully understand.
But you recognizing your deep connection, your soul connection with your son, and almost like an agreement between the two of you of what was going to happen. And it's like I always say, collateral beauty, that in the darkest of times.
That's what we say. We do.
And you did not tell me that. Thank you,
Collateral
Adam.
beauty.
Yes.
Yes, collateral
'Cause
beauty.
the spirit and the power of the human
Yes.
spirit and the message. And, I love the fact that in Adam's struggle, he wanted to help others.
Yes.
Despite his own pain.
Yes.
And that's just so powerfully meaningful and moving for me to hear that. And I can visualize him. And again, the collateral beauty is even in the darkest of moments, we feel the love of others. We get a negative information or a message or trauma even happens. And sometimes just the support that we get from other people and the love that we get from other people is really beautifully overwhelming and almost unexpected that you could feel that kind of loving connection in a dark moment.
Can you imagine when we go into the jails or into sober homes and we go in and they're, everybody's hoodie is over them and they're closed up really tight and they think someone else is going to come and lecture, and we show up with hugs and understanding and love unconditionally. And then we give them the gift of beads, and then they get to share what the beads mean to them. And we let them know that they have a little magic in them.
Yes.
We ask them to let the beads pick them. It's a message for them. And every single time, it resonates so deeply.
What a
It's
connection
such a
that
gift.
you're making with people. And that's really what people are looking for more than anything. A sense of connecting and belonging.
And belonging.
Yeah, I've done some work in prisons, and one of the things that we did, Attorney William Bumpus, an attorney in Connecticut, and I, we would go in and we had recordable children's books, and we would let the fathers record their message to their children, and then the children could take the books at night and hear their father's voices. And to see these men, some of them hardened men, cry and express their vulnerability and the pain of not being able to be there for their children, but the gift and the joy of knowing that their children would be able to hear their voices at night. And
that's where healing begins.
It does.
That's where it is.
And Dr. Ernest Garlington, who is incarcerated, is the one who developed this program.
Wow.
So to see him take lemons and make lemonade for everybody and to be able to inspire and empower. So again, sometimes out of our own pain, we can help others. So I just so commend you for the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
And, not just for Adam and his legacy, but the legacy that you're leaving as a mother of what you can do to help other mothers. And the fact that it's grown in the way that it has is the evidence of how powerful it is.
It's wonderful to know, to see when the spark comes back in a mommy's eyes, that they're like, wait a minute, I can not only survive, but I can thrive.
Thrive again.
I can thrive again.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was the most challenging part of you going from just the agony and the stages of grief, first the denial and then, the sadness of the anger and depression and bargaining, what could I have done differently, to acceptance? What was the most challenging part of going through the stages of grief?
Truly?
Yes.
I didn't.
Okay. So tell me what happened. How did you go through it?
So in the beginning, that first week, I stayed in bed. I stayed in bed, and nothing made sense, right?
Right.
And the only thing that I could watch on TV was Oprah's Masterclass or whatever it was called back then.
Yes.
And there was someone, she had a guest on, I forget his name, and he was talking about a religion of one's own. And he sat in a chair like this, and he looked up, and he said, that's the secret. We don't look up often enough. And I went,
Oh, what confirmation.
What did I just
Oh,
hear?
that was
You have
chills.
angel bumps.
Goosebumps.
Yeah, I call
angel
them angel bumps.
So your son wanted to let you know.
Yeah, I
I'm
got up out
okay.
of bed and
Yes.
I knew he was going to be guiding me.
Yes.
I knew he was going to be guiding me. And
What a
so
gift.
what a gift.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because all of us search for that. It's surreal. I would
Yes.
imagine at the beginning, it's hard to make, as you said, to make sense out of it. But when you get that kind of confirmation and that kind of energy of his spirit living on and letting you know,
Yeah, it's real. And so it really is wonderful, and it's inspiring, and it's like fuel to see another mommy go, I just got my sign. I know I'm connected also. It's not just about Adam. It's a we. There's no eyes.
Yes.
It's a big, big we. And for people's light to go back on and to become part of the living, and then for them to be in service to others.
Yes, the radiance of that light. But I think...
Did I tell you about that?
No,
You just said radiance
of the light.
Do you know what beads Adam made for me? I didn't tell you? No. Radiant light.
Okay, Adam, twice now he's confirming. That's awesome. That's awesome, because what I was going to say, and you just did it, is, you know, my children are very spiritual. They grew up, they grew up Christian. They're non-denominational. They believe in a higher power, but they're very spiritual. And they say to me something that you do actively. You help people be open to that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we don't see it.
Right.
But if you allow yourself to be open to hearing and experiencing the continued love, the eternal love of people that have passed on, that's powerful that you do that.
When I look back at those beads, radiant light, I'm like, wow, he saw something in me that I didn't know. I never saw that in myself. But then, it's 10 and a half years. It's almost 11 years. And I've thought, maybe it was an invitation to see that in him. Because when you're that deep in addiction and that deep in your darkness, maybe the light's not shining as bright. Yes. But what I know for sure now, it's who we are. You don't lose it.
No, but I also get a strong sense in what you're describing. He wanted you to know that he knew and felt and knew he was loved.
Oh, thank you. Wow.
And I think that's why he wanted to use radiant to describe you, to let you never forget how much, even in his despair, even in his struggle, he knew his mother loved him.
I think it's also a message for humanity.
Yes.
If we could see the light in each other.
Yes.
See each other as light.
Yes.
What a world that would be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Linda, again, you have given us such a powerful and inspirational message. I ask every guest 2 questions.
Okay.
First, how can you be more loving towards yourself?
More loving towards myself is receive, to allow myself to be open. I believe that we can be broken down or broken open. So I'll choose to be broken open.
I really like that. You've given me a lot of words that have meaning that I never kind of put together in the way you have. Yes, broken open.
Broken open.
Yes. And I think that's so important when you're a giver, that you also allow yourself, your cup to be full.
Yes.
And people to nurture and give to you. So being open to that. Thank you. And how can you be more loving to others?
So I believe it starts with filling your own cup, because you can't give what you don't have. And so having these conversations fills my cup.
I love that, because that's Bloom. Be loving to ourselves and others more, because as you said, we really can't be loving to others if we're not loving to ourselves and kind to ourselves and compassionate to ourselves. So then we can extend that to other people. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're kindred spirits here.
I feel it.
I like that. Thank you so much. And it really shows, I have to add this, that it's not about religion. It's about what's in our hearts and our beliefs that we share. And there's so many commonalities in the foundations of different religions that start with love.
Love.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank
It was a
you.
pleasure. And please continue to look at the show notes of what's coming up. Linda shared something so powerful with each and every one of us. So continue to shed your light and your love with others and share it and let people know that they're loved. Thank you.
Morning light, we bloom again. From the deep we rise within. Down below, then we ascend. Lotus heart, lotus heart, lotus heart. We bloom